Why does the rules not apply to everybody else? That's my phone. No, you did not keep nobody else's phone. And you finna give me my shit. Don't touch me. That's on my phone. Don't touch me.
For this made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes though. She like, they go. She like, they go. Okay. Okay. That knock. What it do, people? You're now tuned in.
Popovich.
Popovich.
Popovich
Popovich
TV.
TV.
Oh yeah.
We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. To everybody else, you already know. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because you see the video spinning in the clip over the last few days. Shit going viral over the internet. And that's why I plainly say you never know when you going to be spinning in the clip. So apparently out of Rocky Mountain, North Carolina somewhere, like North Carolina, throw your hands up. We had a substitute teacher and a bold, beautiful, and brave black young girl. You know what I mean? Out of line. And what I find ironic is she was brave, bold, and beautiful in the beginning. And then when the teacher put all that ass on her, like literally all that ass, and it looked like she didn't have no panties on either. Maybe it could have been a thong, maybe allegedly somewhere in the crevices. I'm being funny, but I'm not. And I know she never thought she would be spinning on the floor and rustling with a student and nobody would see her ass for the world to see. Like, you know what I mean? Show your ass. But what I find, I won't say funny, but, you know, karma, if you will, is like you was bold, brave, and beautiful in the beginning. Like, give me my phone and word to my mama. You going and violate and invade her space. You know what I mean? Reaching for the phone. And you see, it looked like she was actually on the phone. The teacher, that is, Miss SteeLe. I believe her first name is X-Vera or something like that. She looked like she was calling somebody. Maybe getting ready to call the principal. Maybe getting ready to call security. And you're going to give me my phone. And there's no need for me to reiterate the video. That's why I played the video. But what I find funny, if you will, is that after all of that boldness, all of that brashness, all of that, you know what I mean, audacity, and, you know, black women is the most unprotected. Like, you know, we've been running with that narrative for a while. I don't run with it. I don't subscribe to it. Get off of me! Get off of me! And yes, I'm being funny, but I'm not. Y'all gonna sit here and let her do this to me? Like, she couldn't believe it. She could not believe that her class was actually watching her get her face pressed into the ground. And they didn't release the young girl's identity. And hopefully this is a learning lesson. And, you know, when you look on the Shade Room and, you know, on site, on whatever, and all these different platforms that's spinning this story, you know what I mean, that made it viral, you got a lot of parents, a lot of adults in the comments co-signing this shit. Not the teacher part, but the student and what she did. And, you know, it was always after the police pull out and shoot and do the most. And I'll be the first to say, oh, but you black. We know the police officers do the most. But it's always, you know, especially the criminals. Yo, he could have did the taser. He could have did the Jet Li. He could have, you know what I mean, unloaded the gun and snatched the gun away, did a roundhouse kick, you know what I mean, do all that before they shot him up 41 times. You know what I mean? Them cops uptown hit homes with 41 rounds. And, you know, I'm being funny, but I'm not on that one. We know we get done the dirtiest. We know we get killed and all that. But I find it crazy or interesting, not crazy, interesting, that they always want them to do the most work, you know what I mean? And they should, because they're trained to do that. The teacher should as well. So she's not absolved from being wrong, but they are human first. You got parents saying, you know, she's a substitute teacher, like that make her less of a teacher. And, you know, we all been to school, and I'll be the first to say I was a bad little motherfucker in school. I was. And my reading was down, my writing was down, my math was down, and I suffered. As you know, I suffered, you know, academically. You know what I mean? And a lot of kids do, or they have in my era that I'm talking about, the bad ones, the one that came smelling like weed, came in straight, put your head down. You just walked in the classroom. You just starting your day in the classroom, and you walk right into the back. Put your head down. You could clearly see this little young girl was entitled. What about everybody else? And, you know, we hear our parents say, well, you know, if your friends jump off the bridge or jump off the roof, is you going to follow them? Of course not. Unless you're just a bag of rocks and you're dumb as fuck. So you hear that, oh, they was doing it. Johnny and them was doing it. You know what I mean? Lil Ray and them was doing it. So I followed them. And I get it. Peer pressure's a motherfucker. When you in school, when you in high school and junior high school, and you trying to figure it out, and the whole social experiment starts to take place, and some people become, you know, awkward, some people flourish, you know what I mean, and some people, you know, they get it, and some people they take a little more time to get acclimated and adjust. And then you got the cool kids and the nerd kids, and you know what I mean, the thug guys, and this and that, the fast girls. There's lanes for everybody. But this girl was clearly entitled, you know what I mean? And even if the other people had their phone, there's only one teacher. It's 30 kids in the class. Maybe that's the problem. But the problem is also a lot of these parents in the comments condoning this shit. Oh, she should have just gave her phone back. Oh, she should have called the security guard. Oh, she should have sent it to the principal room. Oh, she should have wrote a letter. Oh, she should have sent out the classroom. She could have, would have, should have, but she didn't. Instead, she decided to roll on the floor with her and have a mud fight. Like, you know what I mean? Let's bring out the girls and let's have a mud fight. And I'm still wondering if she had a thong on or not. I watched the video several times. Scorpios, we the best. And another one, challenge. And I'm saying, damn, do you send your kids to school with the knowledge of they can do what they want? And some of them, they believe that because their moms and their pops is coming to the school to beat the teachers up. And I myself have been in plenty of parent and teachers meetings, been in plenty of classrooms, just observing some of the small boys I done help raise. Yes. You know what I mean? Plenty of classrooms. Sitting in the back. And even though I'm there as a parent, you still had little badass niggas, boys and girls, right? Oh, but you black, doing the most. And I'm sitting right there like I'm invisible. And you can't make this shit up. So that doesn't mean she should get her head popped off, but you behind the desk, you invading her space. Could she probably maybe kind of sort of have done it a little bit different? Yes. But it has nothing to do with her being a substitute teacher. Can't run the term that she white because she either black or Spanish. And I mean, one of the two. And she says she receiving death threats. She says she been teaching for 20 years. Married woman, she ain't a scarlet, you know what I mean? She ain't a scarlet witch running out here for the streets that we know about. Stable, And she seems sincere. When the video she put out, I've been trying to help people at Sunday school and different groups and organizations. And then I jumped into teaching, and I want to help mentor young people. And being a teacher is hard. Again, I can say this firsthand. Sitting in multiple classes at multiple ages, 6th grade, 5th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. Girls think they're grown. And they parents let them come out thinking they're grown with some of the shit that they be wearing. You just gonna go take your phone back from the authority. You just gonna go do what you want. Word to my mama. And then you have parents that come down, they're like, yo, I'm gonna whip this teacher ass. I'm gonna get in the principal's face. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like the teachers in the school is the reason your kid is failing. Nah, your kids is failing because you don't put emphasis on education. Because soon as when you come home, if you're working, you watching Love and Hip Hop and Yandy play single and all that. you watching the most. You watching the Cardi B's, and I'm being funny, but I'm not. You're doing the most by doing nothing at all. And you letting social media in the streets and they friends run them or rather teach them. There's no extra curriculum. There's no extra checking the work. There's no extra after school. Then it's this. It's free game. You know what I mean? You're on your phone 24/7. And that's not the case in all places. But this is just another prime example to me that we failing the kids. It's not black women the most unprotected. They be doing the most to me. You can like it and you can love it and you can dread it and run from it. But destiny arrives all the same. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's how I do it in my book. Miss Rosie Perez, call a spade a spade. It just is what it is. But you can't blame Duke for anything he says. So listen, parents need to parent better. Stop being friends with your kids. There's nothing wrong with being friendly and having certain parenting styles. And again, there's no books. It is books. Some people have written books on how to parent, but you know what I mean. There's no manual to this shit. You know what I mean? And every parent shouldn't be a parent. In my book, on the channel, I'll keep it a buck. And it's full transparency. If I was in charge, like if I ruled the world, just because you got organs and you got, the capability of producing and having children, no. And this is from a person that don't have no kids but help raise some kids. Nah, everybody want to have kids in my rule. It would be strict rules and regulations and obstacles and shit that you got to pass first before you can even bring another life into this world. And I know that's crazy to say, but that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? And on your show and your channel, you can say how you feel. And maybe we'll tune in and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, etc. But that's just what I would do because we see bad parents. We see parents that ain't shit. We see parents that don't give a fuck. And then so you raise kids that raise up not giving a fuck, not being productive members of society. And although it's people in other races, I'm sure, obviously, we not immune to just being black. But we be saying, damn, we be seeming like we at the bottom of the totem pole. We know a lot of rap songs. We got a lot of Jordans. Talking about some of the baddest kids that I've seen in some of these HVCs and some of these, HVAs and all that in Harlem and different places going to school. They fly. They fresh. They fresh to death. These niggas is Dame Dash. Rockaware. But they grades is low. They failing. They can't read. They can't write. But they could quote some rhymes. They could quote Lil Baby and Kodak Black and, and this and that. And it's a reflection of the community. Like it's art imitating life and life imitating art. And, again, she probably could have did things a little different. She didn't. She chose to get up out of her space. And you swung first. And if she went in the duck, she would have hauled off and smacked the shit out of Miss Steele. Miss Steele said, oh, you going to jail now? You want to spit on people? You want to hit people with garbage cans? It doesn't matter if you 14, 15, 16. The penal system is waiting if you carrying pistols and you shooting people. You know what I mean? Juvenile is waiting. And so is a lot of other things, teenage pregnancy and shit like that. If you become a statistic, it's not just the boys. This is little girls becoming statistics too. And this shit been happening. And it's going to keep happening until the adults step up and be adults. You know what I mean? Until the parents step up and be parents. Any parent that's condoning what this child did is, in my opinion, they on the wrong side. Now, again, Miss Steele could have did it a little different. But you don't put your hands on people. and expect them to take the upper hand. I tell women this all the time, especially the women in my family who I love, who I would defend, who I'm going to go all out for. But I'm not going to just jump out the window to the wall and risk my freedom because you decide to jump in the man's face and you want to spin on a man, or you want to hit a man, or tell a man to suck your dick and push him and mush him. And then when he reacts, not the way you expect, and he smacked flames out of you, knock you to the ground, knock your teeth out, put you on the ground, show you who's stronger, superior. Then it's, oh, it was a woman, it wasn't this. Then it's, get her off of me, get her off of me. Nah, don't cry now. You was bold, you was bold, brave, and beautiful. And look what you got. You got your ass with me. She could have did you filthy with all that ass. I mean, like, ass. I'm being funny, but you know what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.